the idea. By the way, let me go ahead and just jump us in, start us off. Good morning. So glad y'all are here. Just so y'all know, we've got a video audience. Hey, everyone out there on recording land. And want y'all to know I'm excited about jumping in today. Hold that thought because I'm going to come right back there in just a second. And today's going to be a little bit of a strange day, an odd day. I am overbooked on a couple of different fronts. For instance, I'm about to go baptize someone in our first service, and somehow I got thrown on welcome and intro and outro for our services. So I don't even know where I am today, but I'm hopefully going to be at least here with y'all for a little bit. Want to apologize because I have a 40-minute teaching that's a video teaching that I'm actually going to put on video. Have y'all work through a certain worksheet that I have, and then I'm going to be here to host live in the beginning, throw us to a video for a little bit, and then I'm planning to come back at the end and continue to host live. So know that. But let me just go through those housekeeping things again. Casual, man, easy peasy environment. I want us to have fun in here, and so glad that y'all are here, and so excited for what all good is going to come of this today. Want to do some introduction. This is Don and Betsy Veldboom. Can we give them three claps? One, two, three. Man, Don and Betsy, I love this couple. So excited that they're in the room. Don and Betsy, how long have y'all been married for? 55 and a half years. Okay. How long have y'all been in love for? 56 years. Very good. Very good. I thought we'd have a little fun with that one. But so good. Don and Betsy. Y'all have how many kids, Don and Betsy? Four kids. And nine grandkids. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So just know I'm excited about Don and Betsy speaking up and giving wisdom and encouragement here and in this place. Joey Mendez is in the back of the room as well, another one of our host leaders. And Eve, is she okay? Hope she's good.
She got in a car accident.
No, are you serious? I didn't even know. Oh my goodness.
Dealing with her TBI issue.
Oh my goodness. I am so well, we'll pray for her in just a minute. Hopefully y'all know my amazing assistant Rhonda, and I'm so grateful that she is here. For those of you that were here last week, my parents, they went back to Texas. So they're not gonna be able to be with us anymore, which makes me sad, but I was so glad for all the good time that they were here and with us. And Paul and Shannon Myers just told me that they decided to take a last minute trip with their four kids. So I was like, well, we'll see you next week if y'all can get here. And so that's a good thing. Let me pray to jump us into what we're doing. And let's get started for today. Lord God, I thank you for each lady and gentleman that is here today. Lord, I ask and I pray that you would just be present in this time and in this teaching. God, I ask that you would give us your grace, your truth, God, to lead and to guide us. And Lord, the ultimate goal here is to meet each other a little bit more. God, to learn to serve each other a little bit better. And Heavenly Father, I just ask and I pray that you would show up in this time, in these teachings, and through what I pray would be ultimately, God, your wisdom for us in Jesus' name. We all say, all right, I'd love for y'all to get your phones out and go to a website, conversationstartersworld.com. Big mouthful, but it is fun. Hey, and I'd love for both people to do this if you can. I love to encourage the man to be the man in the relationship and to step up to the plate first. Conversationstartersworld.com, or just Google it and it'll help you get there. Conversationstartersworld.com. Um, Fair warning, this is not a faith-based site. This is not a Christian website, but I believe that we can. So therefore, I hate the unredeemed aspects of it, and I hurt for, so to say, the non-godly aspects of it. But my hope and my prayer is that this will be a fun thing for y'all to use. If you'll click on the hamburger menu, I think it's in the top left-hand corner, you can see that there's a drop down of a ton of different questions to ask. Okay, so why am I pointing us to this? Well, one, because I need to stall for a few seconds so I can get something up on the screen here. But two, I want to encourage you to consistently learn more about each other. If you have that blank sheet of paper that just said the best things, I would love to encourage you to maybe write this down and take this concept in. Be a constant learner of the other. What I love to say for every couple is this idea. My hope and my prayer is that you will be a constant student of the other person. Obviously, every single one of us, we graduated elementary school, we completed and graduated middle school, completed and graduated high school, and and I know that can go different ways and different ways and things. But maybe you got a college degree, Maybe you are pursuing a master's degree. Maybe you are pursuing a doctorate degree. Yesterday, I was literally digging some holes in my backyard because if you haven't heard, our home was hit. Really, in a way, the whole back of our house was trashed with the hurricane. And so we're trying to rebuild, get some new bushes back in, things like that. So yesterday I was using my PhD, my post hole digger. And so I was digging some stuff out, and that takes me back to my grandfather who had farmland in Central Texas. And he just always tell me, he said, "Yeah, I got a PhD. It's right over there in my shed." And so I thought, man, maybe I should bring my PhD to my office, feel a little bit better about life and myself. But if I can just challenge you with this idea, I hope and pray that you will get as many PhDs on the other person as you can. Okay? It's the idea of being a constant learner, a constant studier of the other person. We write this down, I believe it with all of my heart. Questions unlock relationship. Questions unlock relationship. Okay? Questions unlock, in a way, like newer depths, newer heights of relationship. They cause you to go to the next level in your relationship. When I say next level, which way do you usually think? Do you think next level like a level up, level up, level up, or do you think like a level down, like a level down, like growing and rooting, getting firmer and deeper? Which one do y'all think of? Do y'all think of leveling up or leveling down? Okay, so I usually think up naturally, but I also think downward, not like in a negative way, but in a way of like growing a stronger foundation. Uh, as we're planting a bunch of trees, I think my wife and I over the last month, we've planted about 20 new trees and bushes. And now I know what a green giant bush is. The green giant tree is now. Now I know a little bit more what a holly tree is and things like that. Magnolia tree as we planted them. But when I say next level, and these questions, they're meant to help you go next level, leveling up in your relationship, but also in a way, growing a stronger foundation, a deeper root set in what you do. All right, so I've given you one of my favorite websites for questions. You can see it has on that hamburger menu 500 random questions, get to know you questions, so to say this or that questions, and a lot of good questions. Here's what I'd love for y'all to do. I would love, and I always tell the man, if y'all remember last week, I talked about the idea of a baseball plate. I always love for the man to step up to the plate first. Okay, so gentlemen in the room would love to give you the task of asking the first, I'll say four of the five, and finding some good questions, just asking good questions to one another. Okay, we're not going to be asking this around the room, but to one another. I don't know, men, get at least three of the first five, and then the lady, you can chime in. But I want y'all to just ask some fun and some good questions to each other. Let me tell you why this matters. Questions unlock relationships. Questions cause you to go to the next level. My wife and I, Micah, had a constant, so to say, I don't want to call it a fight or a battle, but sometimes it was almost like a mute battle. It was kind of like a mute fight. It wasn't anything that we got like real bent out of shape about, but it just kind of was something that constantly irked us, and had a different opinion on. Actually, let me give you two things because you're going to see in a video that you're going to watch in just a second. We have still not worked out our air fryer differences. Okay, we still have complete different perspectives on which air fryer we should be having in our home. Okay, so pray for us. Okay, it's not like a major issue. It's not going to cause a separation for us, but it's just kind of a funny thing. Okay, so the air fryer issue, you're going to see. I guess I could say I could call it like chapter two, and this was filmed. What you're going to watch me in the film in just a minute. This was filmed about 2 years ago. Well, right now we're probably at about chapter 10, and the story is not finished yet. We're still working through our air fryer issues. Okay. Another issue that we kind of had in our relationship was an issue with laundry. Okay. How we did the laundry. Okay. Let me give you a couple of other issues that may come up that I want to go ahead and prompt you on. Dishes, how the dishes are done. Okay. How the toothpaste is supposed to be squirted out of the toothpaste bottle. Okay. I'll never forget, I had one couple that the way that she would take off her, forgive me, I don't know all the right terms here, eyeliner and mascara and put it on a certain towel. It drove him nuts because he was a real clean freak. Okay. I had another couple that the young man, anytime he would get mail, I don't know how this worked for him, but he would just throw it in his extra um, visitors' bathroom in his apartment. So he had a bunch of mail just piled up in his bathtub, literally. Okay, and really kind of in a way, it kind of showed a little bit of a lack of responsibility in some ways. It drove her crazy. And that was one of the things that she had to come in and sift through and work through. And don't you know you got to pay bills out of this and everything like that? There's going to be differences and you're going to come at things from different ways. As I'm going to get back to, I promise, the idea of your personality traits, like y'all just talked about. That one page, page 11 and 12, is the idea of what are your primary or your dominant personality traits, your personality types. And for those of you that got to do it, who else did it? If I can ask, did anyone else do it? I call it the 16 circles exercise, and I've got two couples. The hope is that you've got many character traits that are aligned and lined up together. But if you're like my wife and I, and by the way, I have many couples that have one, or two or three together. I've had one couple, only one couple that's ever had all four lined up. They were like a perfect, both extroverted, both intuitive, both thinking, and both feeling, or excuse me, and both perceptive. Okay. Or as my wife, those are all my letters, by the way, ENFP. Or they were just like my wife, both introverted, both sensing, both thinking, and both judging. Okay. And the goal of that exercise is not to just say, well, I'm over here in my little ENFP box, and why don't you just go ahead and come join me and serve me over here? Okay. Or as my wife would do on the absolute opposite in the room, I'm over here in my ISTJ box. Why don't you just come over here and bend and bow to my needs? No, no, no. The ideal is that we would meet in the middle to learn to serve each other better. So guess what? Our differences, they might be a little bit of a pestilence. But can I tell you what I've learned in my marriage? Our differences actually can work really, really well towards a well-rounded house. And where I'm extrovert and want to go out and have fun and and just party everywhere, I literally have a portable Bluetooth speaker and my phone that we just call them, like, parties everywhere for me and my kids, things like that. I want to go have a party everywhere. Well, I would forget that the home needs to be taken care of and the bills need to be paid. That story was not true of me with the bathtub with all the mail, but it could probably be said of me because I'm so grateful my wife handles all the business, things like that. So I just want to challenge and encourage you, where you have differences, find ways to see the grace of God at work in that and prayerfully build and grow upon that. Okay? Questions unlock relationships. I've had it as my goal to always take this website whenever I go on a date with my wife, whenever we go out and we hang out, or whenever we go out to dinner with our three kids. And my goal is I want to get at least three questions that are asked so that I can get to know my kids better, so that I can get to know my wife better. And there's some ridiculous ones, some funny ones, like tell about the craziest dream that you've had. That's a pretty funny one, I think. And if you haven't discussed that, it's a good thing to open that so to say door or that idea on. Some other ones are, what is the most serious injury that you've ever faced? Y'all will see because I want y'all to look at this in just a minute. We're gonna have a little time for y'all to do that. But the question that really, really rocked our world and made our day, my daughter, my middle daughter, who's right now 15, she said, "Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question." She scrolls through and she asked this question: "What household chore do you actually enjoy? What household chore or home chore do you actually enjoy?" All right, I want y'all to answer that question to each other. Ready, set, go. Y'all talk. What household chore do you actually enjoy? Talk about it right now. Maybe you've got more than one. Talk about that if you do. Forgive me while we're doing this. I got to get ready for this baptism. Here we go. All right, let's pick on someone in the room. Don and Betsy, what household chore do y'all actually enjoy doing, if any? Will y'all tell us? Laundry, okay. Any particular part of it or just all of it? There you go. I got you. Nice, nice, nice. Excellent. Sir Don, anything that you love, household chore that you love? Vacuuming. I can agree with that. I don't know what it is, but it's so satisfying, those lines that come through, right? Those lines that you get. Do what? It is like mowing the lawn. Dude, man, who loves mowing the lawn? Anyone in here? Can I just tell you? I mean, I'm not going to force you ladies to do this, but when I was in student ministry days, and we'd have summer camp and so many crazy things going on. Can I just tell you, it was one of the biggest blessings on planet Earth when I'd come home and my wife would have mowed the lawn. Now it was done a little bit differently than I did it, but I was so grateful, so happy. So again, that idea, I'm going to talk about this idea of finding ways to serve one another. But I get it. I get the vacuuming thing. I'm pretty similar in that way as well, and certainly get that and agree with that. Um, so let me tell you about the question that, in a way, unlocked our relationship and changed our world, changed the way that we engaged and interacted with each other. My daughter asked, "What is the one chore that you actually enjoy doing?" I think I probably said doing dishes. Doing dishes and vacuuming. They're easy. I can't stand a dirty floor. Anyone like have to have socks and shoes on when you walk around the house? Anyone? Let me see. Okay, like a few of us. Like I cannot stand walking barefoot because I cannot stand when stuff gets on my feet. Things like that. So vacuuming is just kind of an easy thing. Also, I'll just say this. Maybe write this down. Men, ladies, you can too if you want to, but men, please write this one down. This will be a good service and a sweet service to you. I just believe that a clean kitchen sink equals a happy marriage. I don't know what it is, but it truly is, and especially when it's clean first thing in the morning. So if you can do it, at night before you go to bed, or maybe beat, so to say, everyone else up and get it clean. But it does, and I learned from one lady that it's kind of a mindset when we come into the kitchen, which is kind of the main thoroughfare, right, of the house and the home. And when we find the kitchen is clean, it's easy. It's like, I got some breathing room. And I just feel a little bit better because at least one thing is nice and kept in its place. So my daughter asked that, and my wife, just like you, Miss Betsy Velboom, answered, "I actually enjoy doing laundry." Can I just tell you that untangled about 15 years of tension in our marriage? Because the way that I do laundry is I love getting the dirty clothes, putting them in the washing machine, putting them in the dryer, and then I will kind of 1/3 fold all of our kids' clothes. Actually, what I love doing is putting them into tops and bottoms. And so I'll just put tops, bottoms, make two big stacks. And then I love going and I love third folding all of Harris's clothes, all of Millie's clothes, all of Gray's clothes, my clothes, and then my wife's clothes. And then I kind of set them out in 5 stacks. And then I just take them and I take them to their bed because then I want them to learn a little bit of responsibility, putting up the rest of their clothes, folding them, finishing folding them, doing things like that. By the way, fun family tidbit. I think I said this last week. Teach your kids to turn their clothes right side out whenever they start taking off all their clothes, because that's going to save you a lot of time in your one day parenting game. Okay. I hope and pray that you'll remember that. I don't know, 1, 2, 5, 10 years from now. Teach your kids to turn their clothes right side out. So that's how I do the laundry. And what I love about it is it gets it out of the laundry room. It gets it off of our dining room table so that it's clean, it's kept, and it's out of the way. My wife loves getting the dirty clothes, cleaning them, putting them in the dryer, then taking them and folding them completely and leaving a huge layout either on the floor or now our laundry room or our dining room table so that all the kids then will come and get the clothes. Kind of drives me a little crazy because I just want it done. I want it out of the way, out of sight. I want it to where we don't have to see it anymore. When my daughter asked that question at lunch one day, I think we were at Farmhouse that day, "What household chore do you actually enjoy doing?" My wife said, "I love doing the laundry." And then she said, "Actually, what I love most is folding the laundry." To which I thought, that's the thing that I hate the most. And it literally like unraveled my brain. And I thought, wow, why don't I just start doing the parts that I love, getting it in the washing machine, getting it dried, lay it out, and then I'm just gonna leave it somewhere for my wife to deal with the rest of it. And truly, like it leveled us up in a way of goodness, but also created a stronger foundation for our marriage. All because one simple question unlocked a depth and a new layer of our relationship. I want y'all to find a question in there that's just a fun question. It doesn't have to be a serious one. It doesn't have to lead to a serious conversation. Maybe try to trade. I'll just say 4. How about this? 2 and 2. I'm going to get a video up on screen and then give us some encouragement because unfortunately, I've got to walk out of the room. Please know that this is very weird for me to put a video on screen of myself, but we're just going to do it. It's the best I've got for right now. It's the way it's going to have to go, but do that. All right, ask each other some questions, and I hope and pray unlock some depths in your relationship. All right, I'm going to give us about one more minute, and then I'm going to point us to this video resource today. Hey, Don, when I walk out of this room, you're the head honcho in charge, okay? Oh, you're going too. That's right. All right, Joey, when I walk out of this room, if the video fails, just come teach him something. Give him something good. Give him some wisdom. Yeah, there you go. I know you got some good stuff on you. Hey, if y'all will, go ahead and get page 21 out. Page 21 and 22. This is where I'm going to point us towards. Joey, I will say this also. If you will, just make sure this YouTube video works. This screen is off to the right side of my computer here, and I'm going to hit play, and hopefully it should just work just perfectly. So, yeah, there you go. Hey, so page 21 and 22, that's what I'm going to, via video, start teaching you here in a second. And again, I apologize. I've got to run out like this, but we're going to get through this. Let me also make this announcement. Many of y'all filled out this sheet regarding the prepare, enrich material. This is kind of part B to what I'm doing and where we're going. So if you would want for me to be able to lead you through some personalized materials, working through some precise questions that y'all answer, things like that, would love for y'all to fill this out. We're so excited that many of y'all filled this out. And what I'll just say is know that y'all will answer those questions, go online. It's about 45 minutes for you to answer all that. And then after that, I will get all those answers and then I'll work with y'all from that point and forward. Also, this is a big sheet for each of you. I hope y'all got this. Ron, did you put this in each of their notebooks? I know. Actually, I've got one. I'm looking at it, but thank you. What I want y'all to do is right here. Rhonda, did you give them each this? Okay. This is something that's very important. At the end of this session, what I like to do is I like to be able to sign off. I get it notarized for y'all to be able to go to the court to be able to say, we certify that we did 6 hours of premarital counseling. Okay. So I want to make sure if you want that and need that, it's a good thing. You get a discount on your marriage license. And so I want to make sure that y'all have that. Okay. All right. Y'all get out page 21. A guy named Grant on the video screen is going to lead us through this. Joey, my tech master in the room, is going to lead us through this. And I'm going to hit play. Let me turn it up a little bit. We're watching at 1.25 speed, just to hopefully get through it a little bit faster, and know that I will look forward to coming back to y'all in a minute. Can y'all hear it okay? These have been great things for me to keep. Is that good? But also things that journey and life and marriage that encouraged me with. So this will be good things to encourage you in as well. This is the sheet, by the way. We've got a bunch of blanks, and I'm about to give you all of the blanks. Here we go. I hope you're ready. We're going to jump right in. Thought number one of the best things is never fight without holding hands. Then always make sure whatever you fight with grace, mercy, and humility. I don't even like the word fight personally. I prefer conversations over fights. I prefer discussions over disagreements. So whatever you call, then that's fine. But just make sure that you're setting a tone of connection and love. This is actually an older couple in our church that gave us this idea, and I think it's just so good when they say is when we hold hands, we remember, listen, first we're connected, we are one, and then whatever differences we have to work out, we work them out in a like way. So I love that. Never fight or have conversations or discussions or disagreements without holding hands, and always make sure that you fight in such a way of grace, humility, and mercy.
Imagine making $453,000 in a single month as an affiliate marketer without relying on Google, Facebook, or ClickBank, or creating new accounts on Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok, or Instagram. This may sound like a big claim, but I'm here to show you how this is possible in 50 seconds. I'm Natalie Charrington. I've been an affiliate marketer for over 20 years, and I'm the founder and CEO of Charrington Media, an 8-figure affiliate marketing company. And I want to share my life-changing discovery with you.
Always seeking for the best. I always like to say this: don't just go for a win-loss. This is Stephen Covey, Habits of an Effective Leader. Try not to go for a win-loss this way. Certainly, you don't want to go for a loss-loss. Try to go for a win-win. Pull, just kind of, pull back the reins, and go for a no deal. So that's what you have to go for in that one. Just make sure that you are always reminding yourself that you are connected no matter what. Our next one is determine if this is a fix-it or a feel-it conversation. Sometimes my wife and I'll come to her with something, and I'll say something to her, and then she might go thinking through, okay, well, here's what you can do to fix it. I'm like, no, I just want you to feel it. So often happens the other way, because we as men, we just want to fix things. She'll bring something to me, and it always helps when she prefaces the conversation with, hey, I just need you to feel this with me. I just need you to listen to this. I just need you to kind of feel this one with me, and that's always so helpful. So I give couples an encouragement. Determine, by asking this question, determine ahead of time, is this a fix it or a feel it conversation? So if you feel a conversation coming up, you might want to say, hey, wait, time out. Hey, let me know. You want me to just kind of feel this with you, or do you want me to help you fix it? And that will help the conversation be steered in the right direction in a lot of ways. In marriage, I love this one that a groomsman gave me my own marriage and wedding day. In marriage, selflessness is key. I've heard it said, you'll never find out how selfish you truly are until you get married. And that really is so true in so many ways. We are all selfish human beings, but in marriage, it is giving up of yourself for the betterment of one another and for each other. Next one right here, a great marriage is made up of 2 great givers and 2 great forgivers. It's actually, I think, Ruth Graham Bell, Billy Graham's wife, that had said this, that marriage is made up of 2 great givers, and I like to add on, or excuse me, she said 2 great forgivers, I like to add on 2 great givers. Once again, if you ever done the handhold thing with me, remember that humility seeks to push the other one up, so it gives of itself, gives of themselves. Certainly within ethical and moral boundaries, things like this, but in so many ways, we should be 2 people that give and choose to forgive. I like to say the word, say grace over hardships and heartaches and things like that. But remember to be a great forgiver and a great giver. Ephesians 4:32, E4:32, if you write this down, be an E4:32 servant to your spouse to be. And E4:32 says this, be kind, tenderhearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ has forgiven you. So remember to always be forgiving. That will do a whole lot more in your relationship than just to be a curmudgeon about whatever it is you're being curmudgeon about, or getting bent out of shape, as it can so easily be that we get in our relationships. Our next thing is, they always say that opposites attract. The question I like to ask is the attraction stronger than the friction? So truly, if you are not yet married, because one of the things that I would wish to give you is really how much friction may come into the relationship. Maybe it's not, maybe it's none, maybe it's a lot. If it is a lot, can I tell you, getting married is not going to fix the friction. It's just going to make the friction even more so. And so truly, I want couples to really evaluate, is the attraction stronger than the friction? I love what one of my friends once said, whatever you attract them with, you got to keep them with. And so if you're, I don't know, you're running, your physical fitness, if it is just your charm, your charisma, whatever it is, just be sure that whatever you attract them with, you're going to keep keeping them attracted with, because there will be friction. And my hope is that there will not be too much friction for the relationship, but always a working, lasting attraction. Next one is right here. Remember that this is about living the rest of your life with your forever chosen best friend. I believe that is the case. Husbands and wives, you are choosing to live life with your forever chosen best friend. Men, I would say this to you. Men, there should be no greater friend than your bride. Ladies, there should be no greater friend than your man. That's part of the cherishing factor is you cherish and uphold each other. You keep your business with and among each other. Now, you may get counsel and wisdom. That's great. I would encourage you maybe not just try to get that from friends. That would kind of create some kind of unequilibrium in the friendships. If there's friendships between you and other couples, but seek wise counsel, get wise counsel, and remember, your spouse is your forever best friend. That's the best way for marriage to work, I believe, with all our heart. Next one, enjoy this. Worry through this. Worship is one of the greatest antidotes for worry. Pray. I'm not trying to over-spiritualize this thought, but I truly do believe, there's going to be things in your marriage that are going to get you down and get you maybe a little bit out. Can I encourage you? Don't give up on it. Take a few moments. Maybe take a walk. Maybe you take a drive. Maybe you need to take an afternoon. Kind of get clear your head, get some space, play around the golf, or go to coffee with a girlfriend, something like that. Ladies with a girlfriend, that is. But remember to keep your focus on the Lord, because He will put you together a lot better than you could on your own. Don't worry through this too much. It's going to be great on the other side of this, as long as, again, that attraction is stronger than the friction that you're going through. I love this one. This is one of the best ones that I wish that my wife and I would have heard. Is this: get into a healthy pattern of going to bed together at night. Get into the healthy pattern of going to bed together at night. That is just so key, so crucial. If we saying they're two becoming one. We're sharing the same house, we're sharing the same dinner table, we're sharing the same finances. I hope that monies are gotten combined, things like that. But as two are becoming one, I do believe that going to bed together is such a healthy and holy habit. It's not to say because you're going to be, engaging in a little, rumble and tumble every night. No, it's not to say that. It's just the fact that you're synchronizing your time together. Maybe those can be some of the best, just open-minded, open-hearted, quality time conversations that can happen as you're going to bed together. Now, sprinkle in a lot of the fun and enjoy otherwise as well. But can I just say, get a healthy habit of going to bed together. That will do your marriage wonders. Learn to speak each other's love language fluently. And then I like to say this, the next one, learn to speak each other's love language fluently at least once every AM and once every PM of every single day. And learn to thank the other person for speaking your love language, for speaking yours. And I just want to encourage you on the 5 love languages. That's something that I'm really big on. I think that we should speak all 5 of those languages. But do know that there's a primary give that you have, a natural, easy give that you love to give. And then there's also a primary, maybe even 1 or 2 primary or a primary and a secondary love languages that you prefer for people to speak to you. I was just at a lunch literally today when I'm shooting this video, and it was our family, another family, and one of the kids from the other family got up and he came around and he just started giving back rubs to everyone. He gave me a back rub, and there's nothing that makes me feel more alive than just someone rubbing my back or just give me a pat on the back. It's the same with my own body. Physical touch is what just makes me come alive and makes me feel so much appreciated. And whenever my wife, when we're at church, sitting at church, whenever she reaches over, she just kind of puts her arm around me, or she grabs my hand. We were driving home from lunch just as I'm shooting this video, and she reached over and just kind of grabbed my hand. And there's just nothing that makes me feel more loved than to be touched in ways like that. Because physical touch is just the way that my wife lets me. It's the way that I know that my wife loves me more than anything else. So once again, it's quality time. I don't know if I told you this, but quality time is the one that my wife spends. The joke with me is I don't have the time to be spending quality time. So what do I have to do? I have to make time for quality time for my bride. I just tell you, it's worth it. It usually looks like coffees on Saturday morning on our front porch. It usually looks like when she's getting ready, I'll just go in and I kind of sit with her and just kind of spend some time talking through the day, and things like that. And so just find creative ways to speak your other's love language fluently. I like to say for at least 4 or more minutes every AM and every PM, and that will serve you in your marriage well. Here we go. Next one, just right here is just like life. Marriage will have some unmet expectations. You've got to keep it on. I was actually, my wife and I have trying to fit into discussions about a certain cooking appliance. I think it's going to be something we're all going to laugh about one day. But I can want this certain one, she wants this other one, and we're just trying to figure it out. And we're both just kind of like, we're set in our ways. We're both firstborns. By the way, that creates its own set of unique dynamic. But we're both just kind of set in our ways. And I want this, and she wants that, and we're trying to figure out what's going to be the best way that we go for a win-win in this, and kind of figure it out. But it was so funny is we were kind of having a heated conversation, better than a fight, right? Better than a disagreement. We were having a discussion, and someone that was wearing, this was at Costco, a hoodie that simply just said, "It is what it is." And I just thought, my goodness, that perfectly sums up everything that I feel in this and all of my emotions. It just is what it is, and it is what it is, and it will be what it'll be. All right, next thing so that's just the point. Sometimes marriage will have some unmet expectations. Beware of that. Next thing, I love this passage in Ephesians chapter 5, one of the most prominent passages where it talks to husbands and wives. And actually, before I even say anything on this, can I tell you, go check out Ephesians chapter 5. I think it's verse 21. It's right before this section in verse 22 to 25. It says, husbands and wives, submit to one another out of respect, reverence, honor to your maker, God, and to his son Christ. So it's literally have a healthy response and respectfulness to each other, husbands and wives, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. So I want you to know that's really key to know, because in just a second we're going to see where that word is used, and it seems like, oh, is that only the wife's response? No, because it just said that right beforehand. We should respectfully respond to each other in respectful, harmonious, edifying, building ways. And so that's just a key thing that's in that. But I love this. And this is so interesting to me. So often we talk about, if you read the scripture right in there, look at Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 to 25. It says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands. Look at the little note, the little asterisk down there. We'll look at that in a second. But wives, let's look at it right now. Wives, submit. Look down at that little note down the line and over to the right. It says, the wife to her husband. This is not to be just to men in general, and this is not as inferior to him, nor in violation of her Christian ethics, but honoring her husband as a protector and head of the home, and respecting the responsibility of his position and his accountability to God. So, wives, if I can put another word that will help us to understand that, wives, young lady of God, young woman of God, respond respectfully to your husband
It's that word submit, but respond respectfully to your husband as to the Lord. And can I say this? It's in biblical context, and it's in the confounds of right ethics and morality. Wives, respect your husbands. But can I say this? Husbands, don't live in a life that is not worthy of being respected. In other words, I believe that there's an implied inclination, there's an implied aspect to this that if wives are to respect and respond respectfully to their husbands, husbands, we must be respectable. We must be worthy of respect. Nowhere in the counsel of God does it say that we should go and to follow a leader that is not worth leading. That is not right. That is not true. And by the way, if a wife is to respond to the leadership of the husband as Christ is to do, or excuse me, as the church is to do to Christ, what makes sense in the same way? Husbands, we must be responsible and we must be respectful. We must be respectable. Conducting our business in a respectable way. Having relationships and friendships in respectful and respectable ways, honoring to God and also honoring to our bride. So I think that there's kind of a double-edged standard in this. Not only are wives supposed to submit or subject to the responding respectfully to their husband, but husband, we have a role in being respectful, responsible, respectable in every aspect of life. So I think men that should make us sit a little straighter, hold our head a little bit more highly in a humble way, and give us a little something to go for in that deserving and being worthy of our wife's respect. In the same way, it says, verse 25, husbands, on the sheet right there, husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church. So I always want to think about Christ coming down from heaven. He came to set the standard for his bride, and we as the bride are to meet him, to fellowship him with him, and to unite with him. And so I love what it says. Husbands, in a similar way, do whatever you must to humble yourselves and to meet your bride where she is, to love her. I love what it says in the Amplified translation with this word love. It says to unselfishly seek the best for. In a way, it's like coming and doing whatever is necessary to lift her up. And so husbands, love your wives as Christ did the church, lifted up the church. I think that the implied, so to say, double-edged aspect to this is husbands, love your wives. Wives, please know that your husband loves when you are lovely and lovable. Sometimes I know even myself, a bad attitude can make me pretty unlovable or unlovely at times. Keep a lovely attitude, keep a lovely atmosphere, keep a lovely aura in the household. I think it's implied. Wives, respect your husbands. Husbands, be respectable.
Experience Japan on a journey customized to you. Explore futuristic cities and ancient.
Husbands, love your wives, doing whatever it takes. Wives, keep being lovely in every sense. I always think of just the charm that a new couple has. That girl's got that, just she is heels for whoever that guy is. That guy, he just thinks, I have never seen someone so beautiful in all my life. And in that same way, keep that charm alive as you keep living respectfully and respectably, and as you keep living lovely and lovable. Now, that's not just for the man to only be respectable, that's obviously also for the woman to be respectable as well. And that's also not just for the woman to be lovely or lovable, also man of God to be lovely and lovable as well to your bride. So just want to get some encouragement on that. To me, it's kind of like the unwritten code, the unwritten moral, the unwritten law that is there behind what is written there in Ephesians chapter 5. All right, let's go to the next one right here. Be careful not to over spiritualize your relationship. This is just kind of something that's really interesting to me. Just like in Genesis, it's simple. Just use biblically guided wisdom. Pray and then trust and then act. The reason I say is Genesis, the book of Genesis covers about a period of time of about 1,500 years. And it's all just simply summed up into one book that is about 50 chapters. And so what I would just say, this blows my mind. I think, man, Lord, how much more could you have written about? More great miracles were there of Christ that we don't see about. The book of John even talks about there was much more that Christ did, but if we were to write about all of it, it wouldn't even be able to be held in all the books and all of the libraries of all over the world. And so I just think about it, don't go too far down the line. But no, take simple acts of faith, take simple steps of obedience, accept biblically guided wisdom, and just continue to make steps forward. And then I just say this: worship while you work, worship while you live, worship while you work through the worries and walk through the worries and the heartaches. And so we're just giving that encouragement. Don't over spiritualize it. It's probably going to be okay. In fact, one of the things I like to say is time and space and forgiveness can heal almost anything. I want you to write that out. I'm just going to under this one. Time and space and forgiveness can heal just about anything. So I would pray that that will be the case in your relationship as well. All right, here we go. Next one. Determine to never use the D word. Determine to never use the D word. That is DIVORCE. Don't threaten it. Don't even bring it up. Don't hint at it. Stay away from it. Leave that a biblically grounded marriage, which is the kind of marriage that I've been wanting to build with y'all, a biblically grounded marriage they don't stay away from this. So I'd love to encourage you with that. Next one. I love this one. I attribute this one to my wife in a lot of ways. Words have power. Okay. No negative waves. Be careful that you don't speak something into existence. My wife always says, as we were raising our children when they were really young, don't speak something into existence. So for instance, we've tried to hold a strict line of a yes, be yes, and let your no be no, and don't leave room for gray area in between that. One of our encouragements that we love to give to families that are raising children is that you answer right away and all of the way. So I was like, right away and all the way in whatever you do. And so what we always want to do is we want to speak words that are not negative. I think of life in three key ways. Is it positive, is it neutral, or is it negative? I like to say, keep it neutral at worst, but do your best to never go into the negative. No negative waves. That's actually a military term from way back when. There was a commanding officer, and there were two lesser rank officers, and they were trying to get, he was trying to get his company to move this way, and this company was trying to move that way, but they were conflicting with each other. Maybe they started yelling out, calling each other names or whatever. And then the higher ranking officer would say, hey, no negative waves. Talking about no negative airways over their walkie-talkie system. And so in the same way, try to keep negative waves out of your house as much as possible. This reminds me of another thing that I love to speak about is one of my favorite books. It's a book that we give to parents of teenagers, and it's called Alongside. And it just simply asks this question. Drew Hill is his name. And he asks this question: does your home smell like grace? And I love that thought. I love that idea. Does your home smell like grace? Because you can tell when a home is filled with grace, rather than just justice and judgment all the time. When a home is filled with grace, it changes everything. And my prayer is that your conversation will be filled with grace, and that your home would just the same. Here we go. Your words matter. The next one. They shape worlds. Say it only if it's true, kind, and necessary. Say it only if it's true, kind, and necessary or helpful. This is actually a family that I know and have known and gotten to know recently, and I love this. It's kind of like their family mantra. We only say things if it's true, if it's kind, and if it's necessary. And I think that's a good filter for all of us to use in our workplaces, in our homes, with our family, with our friends. Is it true? Okay, should I say it? Okay, it's true. Is it kind? Yeah, it is kind of kind. It would be kind in the end, but is it helpful or is it necessary? If it doesn't meet one of those criteria, I would encourage you to think, do you really have to say it or do you need to say it? So that'd be encouragement there. All right, next thing right here. Don't just settle for saying the easy things in the relationship. Be willing to say the hard things in a respectful, positive, or neutral way at first. Say the hard things in a respectful way, because I really believe that's where the good stuff comes out. I really believe it's only after you get through the hard things that you can get to the great things. And so we'd love to encourage you. Be bold to speak truthful, loving, kind, and necessary or helpful words, but say them in a kind and respectful way. And truly, I believe it's on the other side of the hard stuff that you get to the great stuff in your marriage. God's love triangle, just kind of complete the triangle there. There's husband. I'm going to show you two corners. There's husband, there's wife, and then up at the top, there should always be God. And so naturally, as you grow closer to God, you're going to grow even more closer to each other, spiritually speaking, and so many other ways. Love that analogy. So much that I can say about that, but a great picture to keep in your marriage. All right, the next one right here is the best question that you can ever learn to ask is, how can I serve you? In other words, what can I do for you? How can I better your day? How can I better any and all situations? And so we'd love to just encourage you, get into the holy habit of, hey, what can I do for you? Hey, how can I help you? How can I serve you? And here's what I want to challenge you to outdo one another. I always like to say this: don't keep a scoreboard. Don't keep his and her scoreboard. Well, my score is always better than yours because I've done more chores than you, and I've took out the trash for 3 weeks in a row. But if you do keep score, make sure that the other one's scoring better than yours. So don't try to seek to keep your score higher than the other person. Always seek to keep the other person's score better than yours. And this is how you can do this. You can always go out of your way. I challenge you 4 times a day. Maybe you won't be able to do that much, but at least one time or more, one or more times a day, just ask the other way. Ask the other person, go anyway, to say, hey, what can I do for you? Hey, how can I serve you? Hey, how can I make you feel better? Maybe it's a back massage, maybe it's a foot rub, maybe it's going and drawing a bubble bath for your sweetie, maybe it's doing the dishes without even being asked. Maybe it's, you're seeing that something could cheer their day up and going out of your way to go to the store and grab them something just to make their day better. How can I serve you? I think one of the most powerful questions that we can ask in our marriages. And I love this aspect too. This is biblical. This is Christ. He said, I didn't come to planet Earth to see how the world would serve me, but I came to serve. So guess what? When you're doing this, you're being like our leader, Jesus, when you do that. And I truly believe, man, if you want to have a hot, sizzling, awesome, God-honoring marriage, learn to be a champion servant, and that will set you up for the greatest way possible. All right, the next thing that I would say is the best thing that you can learn to say is, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. It talks about the 5 A's of conflict. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Could be one of the powerful things you can learn to say in your relationship. All right, here we go. You are going to have to figure out the balance of family, holidays, where to live, saving versus spending, discipline, child raising, all of those things. By the way, on the discipline child raising thing, can I just say, if I haven't already said to you, I truly believe get a dog before you get a kid. Hey, whenever you get married, I encourage you try to wait at least one, maybe 2, 3, 4 years. Don't feel like you have to go too far after that, but at least 1 year, and just be you two. Just be you two together, and I believe that God will really help you grow even closer together if you can hold out for that kid. But if you can't, baby comes from the honeymoon, however that may be. Enjoy what God gives you. But I do encourage you to dog we can get. Here's been the 3 biggest advantages that we've seen with having a dog. We had a dog. I was in Chaco, and we had her before we had our first, our first of our 3 kids. And here's what we found. First of all, that dog cleaned up so many messes that your baby will one day make. Cheerios all over the place, green beans splattered on the floor. That dog is there, and that dog is gonna be worth its weight in gold just picking up and helping you not have to clean up all the mess off of your floor. So that's one thing too. There's just beautiful companionship that happens between a child and a dog. I remember there were so many cases sometimes I'd be out on events, things like that. And that dog would be a great guard dog in our family. Another thing is, I'd say number 3, you're gonna get a bonus on this. Number 3 is learning to give care and nurture and protection and providing for a dog is actually going to be great practice for when your kid comes. So I want to encourage you in that. And maybe you could say, well, is it a dog? Is it a cat? It could be either. It could be a cat or a dog. I just love dogs. I'm a dog guy. And that's how I would say that. But truly, I do believe you will learn to be a better parent. And it's better to focus on a dog than as a human being. You will learn to be a better parent just by having and raising that dog. Truly, what having a dog taught us was who's kind of the one that has to be a little bit more heavy-handed. It was me versus who's the one that's, all cuddly, lovey-dovey, which is my bride. And so that'll teach you a lot of good things. But then the last bonus one that I'll give you, the bonus thing was our dog, Choco, passed away when our kids were about like 10, about 11, 9, and about 7. And so when our kids were younger, they saw firsthand what it was to walk through loss. And I'm so grateful that they learned that lesson first, losing a family animal, family pet. Hated that had to happen. We loved Chocolate so dearly. She was our oldest kid that we had for the longest, so to say. And but I was so glad that our kids learned that lesson and walked through because they saw their daddy become a mess. Because I love that dog. I love that dog so much. But as we grew beyond that, as we grew back to become stronger on the other side of that, it was so good. That lesson got learned with our family pet rather than having to make them suddenly walk through that with a family member or friend. And so just some keys and aspects to that. But I just want you to know there's going to be a lot of y'all going to have to figure out in this line right now that we're working on. A lot to figure out. Okay, next one right here. There's 2 sides to this. Yes, dear. Okay, yes, dear is not just supposed to go from the husband to the wife. It should go both ways. It should not just be a happy wife, it's a happy life. I believe with all of my heart. It should be a happy husband plus a happy wife equals a happy life. And then there's not just a queen of the household. I believe in this queen of the home theology. I believe that there should be a king and a queen. And I think that they should work in tandem, they should work together. Man of God, I do believe it's our role, our part, to take lead in the major decisions of life and, with our wife's support, our wife's input. But man of God, we should be the ones that are ready to make a decision. Now, does that mean you make every single decision? No. Sometimes, you need to lean on your wife to make the decision. But man of God, I think with good counsel, making the decision together, being someone that would lead you to make that decision, that's got to be our role, primarily men, man of God, as we see it. So I want you to know, I don't subscribe to happy wife or happy life theology. I believe that it should be a happy husband plus a happy wife equals a happy life. And so I hope and pray that will be the case in your house and home as well. All right, listen to this. Your marriage is an investment. The more you put into it, the more you will get out of it. I truly believe that. Your marriage is an investment. The more you put in, the more you get out of it. So if you get a chance to go to some marriage retreat weekends, seminars, classes, I know in our church right now we're running a 1-year, first year, or newlywed year class. And you kind of jump into it whenever in the year. Let's say you jump in November, you'll be done by the next November. And in that class, they've got a 1-year class of just giving enrichments and encouragements for couples to be able to learn and walk away with. And so keep investing into your marriage. That's what I'm going to do in that. In communication, just ask the question you're wanting to ask. Go, do you want to, or imply, don't you think you should mow the lawn? Do you want to mow the lawn? I joke about this in some ways, but my wife asked me, hey, do you want to take out the trash? No, I really don't want to take out the trash would be my honest answer. But if she asks me, I said, oh, do whatever you ask to, but ask me. Please don't just, imply it or just kind of, brush it off as, some kind of, this might be a great idea, And then the other thing I like to say is just ask a question, ask a question, ask you politely, please in there, please throw a thank you in there. Throw a little sweet talk in there if you want to, have a little fun with it maybe. But always also, a deadline, a healthy deadline. So my wife asked me, "Hey, can you come to the garage?"
Mount sales objection with this book. I just got my black book of questions in the mail. And look at
Sure. In the next month, I'll clean the garage. You know, but she said, hey, great. If you don't mind some people coming over this weekend on Sunday, or my family's coming in on Friday, would you mind cleaning the garage before then? Yeah, sure. I'll get that done. You know, deadline. She asked me kindly, and I love it. It's easy. I think we get into ruts, and I just think this is a personality thing. I think that we get into situations where we just kind of expect, we kind of just, things that we've always been, just requiring, or we've always just been, acting as if they're essential. But hey, can I just tell you, encourage you? If you're married to your best friend, keep acting friendly to your best friend, and that'll be a good thing and a great thing for your marriage. Be kind. I said that on the next one. Put please in there somewhere, and that will help things that put time frame on this. Next thing is be absolutely and completely honest with each other sooner versus later. If you are not yet married, I would love to encourage you. If there are still things that you're holding on to, and you say, I just don't think I should say that. I don't think I should let them know that part of my life. And I say, you'll regret it if you don't. It is a whole lot better to get everything you've got out on the table and do it sooner versus later. Be honest sooner versus later. It will do you much and do you well in your relationship. Next is work hard to have same. I think this is one of the biggest things in communications in marriage. Work hard to have same definitions. Okay? Definitions are where communication breaks down. You can have the same vocabulary, be using completely different dictionaries. I love that from Pastor Jack Graham. I heard that. But make sure you have the same definition. So give me some examples. A definition of a clean home. Okay, the definition of a clean kitchen. By the way, I've heard it said, there's actually been a book written on this, that sex starts in the kitchen. Okay, maybe that is the case for some couples, maybe it's not. But I do believe this: a happy kitchen equals a happy marriage. I know that one. It just brings less stress. Everything's peace in the world because there's no bowls or cups in the kitchen sink. I don't know. I just found that to be the case in our home, and I feel a lot more at ease personally from having that kind of thing done. But make sure that you have same definition. What is an expensive car versus what is an affordable car in your life? What is too much to spend on a house? What is the right amount to spend on your home furnishings? Things like that. So have same definition. That's so key. All right, the 5 A's of conflict. I love this. This has been material given to me. I actually learned it in this room. I'm sitting in the loft here at Warren Baptist Church, and I love this from my good friend Miss Casey Mary that brought this to me. It's from a curriculum called The Young Peacemaker, talking about how you can be a person of peace. And I love these 5 A's of dealing with conflict. You can see them out to the right there. Whenever you blow it, when you break the trust bridge, look at this right here. I call this the trust bridge in your marriage. Sometimes when you break that bridge, something falls out on your side, or maybe you both break it. Can I tell you, these are some of the best things that come out of the bridge together. First, admit, saying, hey, this is where I went wrong. Admit where you went wrong. Will you forgive me and apologize? I want you to know I am sorry. And then accept whatever consequences may come. Maybe it's, I don't know, sleep it on the sofa for a night. Hopefully it's not that. Come on, we're all better than that. Maybe it's, I want to do this to make up for it. And I'll even tell you about this. When you have kids, these 5 A's become even more prominent and more relevant in your life because it's so good for kids to learn to accept whatever consequences will come from their wrong action that they committed. So you admit, you apologize, you say, this is what I did wrong. I apologize. I'm sorry. I want to ask for your forgiveness. I accept whatever consequences may come. And then finally, you alter your way. You have to use this hand motion for that. Change your way and you do your best to never do that again. So the 5 A's of conflict, I believe they save marriages. And if they don't save marriages, they save the life in your marriage just as much and just as well. All right, here we go. Get ready to learn more about God in your marriage. That's the next one. Get ready to learn more about God in marriage than you would have been able to learn in your singleness. I've heard this in so many ways. Ladies, get ready to see the warrior nature, the fierce nature of man of God. Men, be ready to see the grace-filled and gentle, kind nature of God. Get ready to learn more about God in your marriage than you would have in your singleness. I love this from Pastor Drew Robinson, one of our pastors here at Warren, as of the in this day and time. And he says this: are you trying to be right? Or are you trying to be righteous? I also love this. He says, are you trying to win the argument, or are you trying to win their heart? So are you trying to be right or righteous? Or are you trying to win the argument, or are you trying to win their heart? Go for the heart and go for righteousness more than anything else. Here we go. Here's the big one on intimacy when it comes to sex. I believe one of God's greatest gifts is given to husband and wife. It is always appropriate when it's one man, one woman in the context of God's wrapped and enclosed relationship and covenant of marriage. Here's what I would say: get someone. Okay, I may have another video coming out at some point. Some other encouragements to give to you. I do usually send a text to the male, to the groom on the day of the wedding. It's got a lot of information and encouragements in that. But I would say this: whether I am doing premarital with you or someone else is, I think this is so important. Do this. Find a 30 to 60-minute time and get someone that you're close to and that you trust, and that is someone you're saying they're going to tell you everything that they can about sex. There's that word sex. And I believe that get someone godly as well, a Christ follower that you trust, that you would value, and get them for 30 to 60 minutes, maybe it's more, to say everything that they can about this thing called SEX. So I encourage you that. Here's some bonus resources real quick. Be a constant student of mastering your spouse. Keep asking questions. Consider on dates, maybe turning dates into interviews. Continue to do that. I try to do that whenever my wife and I go on a date. We go out to dinner, and maybe using like this site for fun jump starters, conversation starters.com. I know it may sound super cheesy, but this is one of the things that I do with games whenever I work with students, but also with my own wife. I open up this website, just love asking her silly questions and get to know her even better than before. And here we are, 18 years married. There's still things I'm learning about her, and I would encourage you constantly be a student and get a PhD, get a master's degree, get a doctorate on knowing your significant others. So that's the fun one. Here's two freebies that I think are really, really great and can be very interactive. First is sign up for and check out loveology.org. I don't even think you have to sign up for it. Just go to their site. It's kind of like a Netflix Christian encouragement for marriages. But loveology.org. And so I'd love for y'all to check that out. Then the last thing that I would say here is get and use the Love Nudge app. Get and use the Love Nudge app. That has to do with the 5 love languages. And it's really kind of cool and interactive to kind of better meet and know your spouse and to give you ideas on how to best speak that love language. Activity, the 3 hand holding practices, and actually I have 4. I'm doing a bonus one. Love, honor, cherish, and serve. And if I just haven't done that with you, call me up and maybe I can walk you and your spouse through that. You've been amazing to hang on for 40 minutes with me and for me to have a chance to teach you these things. These are things that I love. Would love to have had the opportunity to speak with you in person. If there's more questions that I can answer, let me know. There's always so much more that I'd love to give to you. If you get a chance, maybe check out, I haven't sent it to you, my link tree. On my link tree, I've got all kinds of extra added, more bonus material that is on there regarding marriage matters, relationship matters, parenting matters, faith matters, all that kind of stuff. Would love to encourage you to check that out. Just hit me up via text. I'd always like to reconnect with you and catch back up with you in person if the chance allows. Know that I'm for you. I'm cheering you on. And what better way than in this whole segment, I'll give you one last best thing. It is this. And this is truly one that God's been teaching me, and I've been trying to teach others. I believe that marriage comes down to one simple 6-letter thing. Okay? All of marriage all goes down to, I believe all of your relationships are all down to one 6-letter thing. It's spelled P-U-R-S-U-E. It's all about pursuing one another, pursuing one another's passions, pursuing each other's best, putting out their own selfish pride and selfish ambitions, and going hard after the other one. And not just going to each other, no, you know that, going for each other, and then working to build each other up and lift each other up. Pursuing the other one for the rest of your life, and know that I'm for you. Let me know if I can have anything else to serve you or to set you up. God bless. Bye.
All right, sorry to make you transition from live grant to video grant back to live grant, but thank you, Joey, so much for helping with that. I do not get any endorsements or payment from those commercials, so I don't know what those are all about, but it's what it is. Thank you all for your patience with me in this. Hey, I'm going to give us a break and a walk away in just a minute, but I want to hit on just a few things real quick. Don and Betsy would love to ask, did y'all have anything y'all saw, or Joey, that you saw that really stood out? Let me go to that word pursue, because actually you heard me say 3 words, 4 words. I actually have what I call 5 to thrive. And I do have some fun, cheesy handholds. Again, I want to always stand here so our video audience can see and know this as well. But those words are, and they're usually the typical words that I go through in a wedding ceremony. They are the commitments or the vows that a husband and a wife would make to each other. They are to love, to honor, to serve, to cherish, and then to pursue. If you want to write these down at that bottom blank part of that page that we're working on right now, that would be good. But to love, to honor, to serve, to cherish, and then to pursue. Um, Don and Betsy, I may have y'all come stand up in front of everyone here because I love to do these handholds, and I'll have y'all do this maybe after the break. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to rewrite the word pursue as big as you can to fill up the rest of that blank page. Pursue on that page that we're filling out these sheets, or whatever page, if you want to just fill it on a page. Pursue. My hope and my prayer is that you will constantly be in pursuit of one another. Not for what you can get out of the pursuit, but out of and for the reason of mutual benefit for each other. And if you will, please give a look at my fingers right up here and my hands right up here. To me, this is what pursuit is to be and should be. And I hope and pray will be all of the days of your life. It will not just be you trying to come after the other one, but also both of you coming towards each other. not coming at each other, not, watch my fingers, coming down on each other, but instead doing what I believe was Jesus's, so to say, power move. What made Jesus who he was as Lord, leader, savior of the world, taking the knee of submission, taking a stance of servanthood, taking on the posture of a servant leader, wishing and wanting the best for the other, asking each other that question that I just gave you on that video. How can I serve you? What can I do for you? How can I go out of my way for you? There's a great leader, business leader, also a Christian leader who has gone home, gone to heaven, but an amazing man of God. I actually had an incredible privilege of being around him a lot when I used to live in the Dallas, Texas area, named Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar, great motivational speaker, great business-minded man, very famous, kind of like the Tony Robbins, so to say, of like the 1980s, 1990s, and early 2000s. And Zig basically had this saying. He said, if you help enough other people push their cart up the hill, like as if it was like a wagon or a cart to try to push up a hill. He said, if you help enough other people push their cart up the hill, guess what? Your cart is going to get pushed up the hill just the same and just alike and just as well. So it's the idea of finding joy in serving one another and lifting each other up. Ephesians 5 is a power passage that really is really great for all husbands and wives. We're going to look at it at another point soon, but I want to show you a little key and a little secret. Do y'all know what it usually says? Husbands blank your wives. Anyone know what the word is in that by chance? It starts with an L. Husbands, love your wives. And then it says, and wives, it says, and the meaning of it, I love it in the Amplified. It says to respectfully respond to the God-given role of leadership that the husband is supposed to have. Okay, it's wrapped up and summed up in one word that starts with S. Husbands, love your wives. Wives, what does it say? Submit to your husbands. Okay, and in so many ways, I understand, and I have really an empathy-filled heart for how people have used, abused, and wrongly defined that term. So, husbands, love your wives. Wives, submit to your husbands. But right before those verses in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21, guess what it says to all Christian brothers and Christian sisters? It says, each of us are supposed to submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. So it's this idea as Christian brothers and sisters, we're supposed to be edifying, pushing each other up, encouraging one another at all times and in all ways. Okay? That's our Christian brother and sister duty in the first place. It's not just supposed to be carried out in a Christian marriage. And by the way, you can get into deep conversations on the ethic of it and the morality of it. If a Christian husband is married to a Christian wife, shouldn't he be acting like a Christian in the first place, Christ-like in the first place, gentle in his nature in the first place, kind and compassionate, considerate in the first place? So I think that there's a lot of undoing of wrong definitions from days gone by, but the ultimate point, Christian man, Christian lady, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. And my hope and my prayer is that as you pursue each other, that you will continue to lift each other up. Here's one of the greatest tragedies of any marriage is that maybe one person would pursue, but one person grows stale or stagnant. Or possibly that two people would become stale and stagnant. So to say that you wouldn't keep the home fires burning in a way, and I'm not just talking about sex, emotionally, mentally, physically, relationally. I like to use the word occupationally with your time. I know that if I don't spend quality time with my wife, she will not know love from her husband. So the idea is to continuously pursue one another. Don and Betsy, Joey, what was something that y'all heard that really stuck out that you say, hey, I want to accentuate this point, draw a highlight to that, or maybe even something else that y'all been thinking? By the way, I want y'all to know that I've gotten feedback that usually the best things that are said come from others in the room. So I hope and pray that y'all will enjoy some of these things. And then after this, we'll take a break real quick.
Well, early on in our marriage, I heard that phrase, never use the D word.
Mm.
And I guess I never thought of it. Everybody around me was breaking up. But they said, if you never use the D word, you have two options, and you can either work out your issues, maybe even see counselor, or you'll live the rest of your life in misery.
Mm.
And that's a good point. So that was something I often thought of when we were younger. And people often say, you should give, a man gives 50% and a woman gives 50%. Well, that's not even, a man has to give 100%.
Mm.
The woman has to give 100%.
Yeah.
That's the way we-
That's very good. That's very good. That's good. What else? What else stuck out? What else means something to you? Or maybe it's something else to add on to, whether it was discussed or not.
And with the aims of conflict resolution, I would add a B, and I would just know, and this is something that I know the background. My wife has a complete different background and a complete different personality. She's very black and white. I was an intelligence officer. I am perfectly comfortable working on the gray area. Words have meaning to her. To me, words I'm just talking. So know the background. Um, and I say that to say, being a military guy, I get upset. I'll run my mouth. And she, in her head, is like, "Oh my God, he's gonna really decapitate somebody." Well, it's not really what I mean. I'm just angry and I'm venting. So know the background. Will save you a lot of headache.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Do your intelligence. Isn't that part of the idea of getting as many PhDs on each other as possible, knowing each other as best you can? I believe with all my heart that you don't just have one hat to wear, the husband hat or the wife hat. You also have the best friend hat to wear. You also have the Christian brother hat, Christian sister hat to wear in that. Sir Don, give us some wisdom. Give us some brilliance. I know you got something, man. I love this guy and I'm gonna pick on him a lot. So just get used to it. Get ready for it. And he's gonna give it right back to me too, just so you know. And it's healthy. It's good.
You're all young and probably engaged. Relationship. I'll be pretty transparent here. I've never, when she was 14, she got pregnant when she was 15. They got married, she turned 16. So now we never lived together, but we lived together. So I don't know where you guys are at in my business, but we are together on things that we are doing. I'm highly recommending this to you before you get married. Take at least a month or 2 months. You live together, separate, sex together, stop. 2 months before you get married. So when you get to your honeymoon, it's after. By the way, it's just an act. It's not even emotional love, and just something that satisfies your physical needs.
Mhm.
That's quite important.
Mm.
Great out that would have advice that you'll never.
Hey, I love it. I love it. Go in there. And I brought it up, and I want y'all to know one of my intentions is to talk about this idea of just intimacy. That's the word that I'm going to use, and that you're going to mostly hear from me is the idea of intimacy. It is God's gift. It's one of God's greatest gifts. And thank you for being willing to go there and to kind of put that out there and to really challenge and encourage us in that. Can I just say that one of my greatest joys for any and every couple that I would work with and that I would ever be around is I want to lead you truly to a godly marriage. I want to lead you to a joyful marriage. I want to lead you to a Jesus-filled marriage. And the starting line of that marriage is really that wedding point, that wedding day. And I'll just tell you, Don, to what you're saying, I've had 3 couples that have come back to me and said, Grant, that purity challenge that you gave to us, I want you to know that we took it. And I've had 3 of these 3 couples, 2 of them that were in a way, um, you know, close with each other, physically close to each other, connected to each other, living together even, and they came back to me on their wedding day. One of them on the wedding day, right before we were about to walk down the altar. And another one, they came back to me the next day and they said, Grant, we just want you to know that because you gave us a challenge of purity, it made our wedding so much more sacred. It made that wedding day so much more sweet and sacred. So let me kind of rewind and back up a little bit. What I said in that video, truly, and I don't know when your wedding date is, but I do want to encourage you, man of God, woman of God, find someone else your own sex and go and talk with them. Maybe it's for you ladies, a mentor to connect with. Maybe for you, man of God, a man to connect with. And can I just say to you men, if you don't have anyone else, I know a guy named Grant. I would love to be there to encourage you and bring you encouragement on this front. And no matter your background, I want you to know I'm not here to ask questions about what's happened in the past. What I care about is from this point until your wedding date. And what I always love to challenge and encourage people is if we're right here, right now, and this is the point of your wedding day, um, I love to challenge and encourage couples towards purity from this point forward until your wedding day. So I may go a little bit longer than just 2 months from now. And for anyone that I would do the wedding for, that is an ask that I have. Is hey, if you'd be willing to commit to purity from this point to your wedding date, then I want to just let you know, number one, I would be ecstatic to do your wedding. But not only what you commit to God in purity, guess what? Here's the beautiful thing. He will hold in permanency afterwards and thereafter. So Don, I appreciate you going there. Didn't mean to have to make you, come right out with one of the, I guess, what could be most sensitive things. But can I just ask, has God worked in that? Has God brought redemption in that? Has God allowed y'all to have a fresh or a godly perspective in that since then? Yeah.
Um, because Grant's a great guy, but we want to go back the other two stones next to it.
There you go. There you go. I like that. Thank you. Thank you.
I think, we look at what are we putting what do you want to know?
Well, let me just say this. You said something in our last class that really just has stuck with me. Um, I want you to write this down. A pastor once came and spoke this word to us. There is power in purity. There's power in purity. That one young man, right before we were about to go down the aisle, he looked at me and he said, Grant, I want you to know we did that purity thing that you challenged us to. And for them, it was an idea of they had to, kind of change their living arrangements, things like that. And I look back at that bride and I just can't even tell you how God showed up in that moment. And I was so proud of them. And so there was power in that. Recently, I had another couple. They were in a situation where there was some physical activity, and they told me after the wedding, they said, Grant, I want you to know that we took the purity challenge, and you were. It's not about me being right. It's about being right in front of Almighty God and holding yourself in a way that is right and righteous unto Him. And can I just say that there's a lot of different things that I love to serve and encourage couples towards when it comes to the idea and the topic of purity. And so here's what I would say to every single one of you. However, a guy named Grant can serve and encourage you. I'm here for that. But I just want to tell you and I want to encourage you. What you hold in purity, God will hold in permanency because there's power in purity. You said something last session that we did back in October. And guess what? Purity, it's always a good day to start in purity. Today's a good day to start in purity. And so if I can, I just want to challenge and encourage each of us on that. I want y'all to know I'm not going to talk about sex a lot in here. I'm not going to talk about that word, that idea, intimacy a lot in here. But I do believe that planet Earth has said enough on that front. I do believe that as a spokesperson for the Maker himself, I believe that there's a lot of great things that we need to learn on this front from other godly men and other godly women. And I do want to be one of those bold, I hope it could be said, men of God that's willing to go there and to encourage and to challenge y'all. Because I don't just think it, I don't just believe it. I have felt it, I have known it, I have sensed it, and I've also heard about it in other people's lives. There is power in purity. And my hope, my prayer is that y'all will take purity and the purity challenge and see how God will show up in that for you and for your life. Oh man, really want to take a halftime break, but I'm about to have to run out of the room again. And so I apologize for that because there's another thing that I've been asked to do at the end of the time today. Let me have y'all do this. I want to make sure that y'all are going through and connecting on a lot of different things. Let me ask this. How about this? This is what we're going to do. This is where we're going to end for these last 5 minutes because I've got to get out of here in just a minute. I would love for y'all to take out the sheet that y'all just worked on, that y'all just wrote down. And I would love for y'all to read through that together and to kind of star what are your favorite five? What are your favorite five things that you want to work on or things that you want to bring into the equation, things that you want to or that you desire to do better in your relationship and find ways to just kind of discuss those right here and right now. So yeah, go ahead and start through those, walk through those, go through those, and start discussing those if you want. If y'all want to get up and go get a snack, go get a coffee, go get something, y'all can do that as we're kind of in a casual time right now. But let me have y'all kind of work through those together, talk about what were some best things, and then I'll come back and conclude us in about 5 minutes. Cool? Good? Great? Ready, set, go. Enjoy that sheet if you can, how you can, as you can in what you do right now. Play some background music and make it awesome in here, make it encouraging in here, and give us some encouragement right here, right now. Whoop, that's some hot people coming there. Sorry about that. Does anyone have any questions that I can come help answer, bring encouragement to in anything, in any ways? If so, wave at me and I'll come to you. Give you some encouragement. I forgot I But I know that I'd like to, connect with y'all in that way. So, you don't hear from me about that. Let's get back in touch with you. All right, all right. One of the biggest things I want to do before we ever walk out of the room is what's your takeaway? What's your takeaway? What's something that you want to weave into your happily ever after? What's something that you want to weave into your healthy ever after, your holy ever after? What is your takeaway? Not for me to have to hear, but for each other. And how about this? This is a meeting two. I want to give you two takeaways. So for him and for her, what are two things that you want to take away and really commit to doing better with each other and for each other? Y'all go and talk about that in about 2 minutes. I'll give us one final word of encouragement and challenge for us. All right, takeaways. Let's get them.